Have you ever met someone who seems to know exactly where your emotional weak points are? Not by accident, not occasionally, but with surgical precision. A small comment, almost harmless on the surface. "Oh, I just thought you'd care more." Or the silence. That heavy, deliberate silence that fills the room like smoke. And suddenly your body reacts before your mind can catch up. Your stomach tightens. Your chest heats up. Your thoughts begin to race. Why are they doing this to me? But over 2,000 years ago, a man who had every reason to feel powerless discovered something that changes everything. Epictetus, born a slave in Hierapolis, later becoming one of the most respected Stoic teachers in Athens, taught a principle so sharp, so dangerous to manipulators, that it still works today without exception. No one can upset you without your consent. Think about that for a moment. What if every guilt trip, every passive-aggressive remark, every psychological game simply stopped working on you? Not because people changed, but because you did. Stay with me. Because what you're about to learn isn't theory. It's a psychological armor system tested in a world of political intrigue, betrayal, and power struggles. This is what we can call the Hellenistic armor protocol. And once you internalize it, people who used to control you emotionally will no longer recognize you. Chapter 1. The 5-second reaction shield. Picture this. You're in a meeting. You've worked for days on a project. You present your ideas clearly. And then, a colleague leans forward and says, "Yes, exactly what I suggested last week." They take your work, publicly, calmly, without hesitation. In that moment, something erupts inside you. Heat rises. Your jaw tightens. Your mind prepares for attack. This is the exact moment Epictetus trained his students for, because he understood something most people never realize. The first 5 seconds decide everything. Between stimulus and reaction, there is a narrow gate. And if you can stand guard at that gate, you are free. Here is the protocol. First, freeze. Do not move, not your hands, not your posture. Become still. Second, breathe. Inhale slowly through your nose. Count to 4. Third, name it. This is anger. This is frustration. This is not truth. That's it. Simple, but not easy. In those 5 seconds, you interrupt the automatic chain reaction. You step out of being a puppet and become the observer. And here's the part manipulators hate most. They are waiting for your reaction. Your anger feeds them. Your defensiveness empowers them. Your emotional spike gives them control. But when nothing comes, the game collapses before it even begins. Chapter 2. The 3 weapons of dark psychology. Every manipulator, whether conscious or unconscious, relies on the same 3 tools. Once you see them clearly, they lose their mystery and half their power. The first is guilt. After everything I've done for you, I guess I just care more than you do. It sounds emotional, almost vulnerable, but beneath it lies a hidden message. You owe me your behavior. Epictetus would respond simply, "Your feelings are yours. My actions are mine." The second weapon is gaslighting. That never happened. You're overreacting. You're too sensitive. This attack targets your perception of reality itself. If they can make you doubt what you see and feel, they control your inner world. The Stoic response is calm and grounded. My perception is valid. I don't need your agreement. The third weapon is silence. No reply, no acknowledgement, just absence. This is not weakness, it's strategy. Silence creates tension, and humans rush to fill that tension, often by surrendering power. But the Stoic remains unmoved. Your silence is your choice. My peace is mine. The moment you can name the weapon being used, you are no longer inside the trap. You are standing outside it. Chapter 3. The Hellenistic armor protocol. Epictetus didn't just teach ideas. He trained mental discipline, a system, a structure you can apply in real time. Step 1. Externalize. Instead of thinking, "This is happening to me," you shift to, "This is a tactic being used." It's not about your worth. It's about their strategy. Step 2. The dichotomy of control. This is the core of Stoic philosophy. Ask yourself, what here is under my control? Their words? No, their tone? No, their behavior? No, your response? Completely. And in that realization, you reclaim authority over yourself. Step 3. Pre-select your response. Not emotional, not reactive, intentional. You choose from a small set of calm, controlled phrases. I understand your perspective. That's interesting. Let me think about that. These responses do something powerful. They neither submit nor attack. They dissolve tension without feeding the game. Imagine someone says, "You're so selfish." Instead of defending yourself, you say calmly, "I understand you feel that way. Let me think about it." Now the dynamic shifts. They expected resistance. They prepared for conflict. But instead, they meet composure. And without your emotional energy, their strategy has nowhere to go. Chapter 4. The Indifference Shield. Epictetus taught a radical idea. It is not events that disturb us, but our judgment about them. This means annoyance is not caused. It is created. And what is created can be undone. The first technique is emotional distancing. Not everything is about you. The rude cashier, the late colleague, the aggressive driver. These are not personal attacks. They are moments in other people's stories. The second technique is the 10-year test. Ask yourself, will this matter in 10 years? If the answer is no, it deserves only a fraction of your mental energy. Most daily frustrations fail this test instantly. The third technique is role reversal. Imagine carrying their stress, their fears, their insecurities. Would you act differently? Suddenly, irritation turns into understanding, not weakness, clarity. And from clarity comes calm. Chapter 5. Breaking the Narcissist's Game. Certain personalities depend entirely on reaction. They need it like oxygen. Remove it, and the structure collapses. They seek 4 things: defensiveness, justification, anger, emotional withdrawal. Each one confirms their influence. Each one feeds their control. But when you respond with calm neutrality, that's an interesting perspective. I see it differently. Let me consider that. You break the feedback loop. Think of it like a system. Every emotional reaction gives them power. Every Stoic response removes it. And over time, something fascinating happens. They stop targeting you. Not because they've changed, but because you are no longer a viable source of control. Chapter 6. Predicting the attack. Epictetus trained his students every morning, not with hope, but with preparation. For 5 minutes, he would mentally rehearse challenges, criticism, insults, manipulation. Not to fear them, but to neutralize them in advance. You can do the same. Visualize tomorrow. You're not good enough. To, I understand your perspective. You owe me. To, I see it differently. No one appreciates you. To, that may be your view. When you rehearse emotions in advance, they lose their intensity in reality. And when the moment comes, it feels familiar, almost predictable, like a script you've already mastered. Chapter 7. The Stoic Identity. At the end of all this, something deeper emerges. Not just techniques, but identity. You are no longer someone who reacts automatically. You become someone who observes, someone who chooses, someone who cannot be easily moved. Repeat internally. I observe my emotions. I do not obey them. My peace is not negotiable. Every challenge strengthens my discipline. This is not suppression. This is mastery. And here is the final truth Epictetus understood. When someone no longer needs approval, does not fear disapproval, and refuses to play emotional games, they become untouchable. You began here, like most people do, reactive, triggered, pulled into emotional currents you didn't choose. But now, you carry something different. A shield built over centuries, a system forged in hardship, the Hellenistic armor. And the next time someone tries to pull you into their game, pause, breathe, and respond with calm precision. Because while they are still playing checkers, you have already stepped off the board.